Hello everyone and welcome back to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel. Cedric here in Antwerp with a brand new brew review. After a short break, I decided to get back up and jump into the reviewing game again. Now, quitting was never an option, but I took that break and it did me well, honestly. But today we are immediately challenging our taste buds because we have here a novelty beer by Vandestreek Brewery in Utrecht, in cooperation with store chain Hema, which I'd like to compare to a Dutch version of Marks and Spencer maybe. Um, Now, what is so special about this beer? It is called Rookworst Weizen, or smoked sausage Weizen. Before this, they already made a tompoes beer, which is a pastry beer, and it was not a stout, by the way. But the Rookworst Weizen is a beer, Weizen beer in combination with smoked sausage. Smells and sounds very German. I think that was what they were intending to do. But Ronald van der Streek, the brewer and the owner of the brewery, assured everyone that this beer is just like all their other beers, vegan in fact. They did not use any gimmicks like throwing sausages in the kettle because they wanted to keep their beer vegan and they want to optimize quality. So they did use pretty much the recipe of that smoked sausage and incorporated that into smoked barley malts, rauch malt as we know it. And this might ring a bell because basically this is a smoked Weizen, or the rauch Weizen, very much known by, for example, Bamberg in Germany. Now, this beer is a quite simple Weizen beer with smoked barley, with wheat, and that's pretty much it. Very simple, very straightforward. They still have this totally vegan logo on the can, and they don't really give us more info on the can. So this is a 5.5% ABV Weizen with smoked barley. Now it is quite a bit darker than a average Weizen, or I shouldn't say darker, it's very clear, it is quite light, but it is more orangey, more amber colored than a normal Weizen beer. Also, the foam is not that white. Normally Weizen beer has a very white foam. This has a yeah, it has a rough head of foam, but it is quite beigey, quite orangey, and that has of course a lot to do with the smoking process. Now, funny thing is that it doesn't smell all that woody or anything. This actually really smells like smoked sausage. Also has that slight tiny acidity and that tiny sweet and fresh edge from a Weizen beer, or from any Weizen. But yeah, they did their best with that smell or that scent profile. Now, just to make sure, I live near the Dutch border and I just crossed the border and got me a rookworst, a smoked sausage. Now I know that this is a collab with Hema, but Hema was all out of smoked sausage, so I took the classic, the Unox smoked sausage. And let's see how they compare. First things first. Yeah, very, very similar. Actually, the beer smells a bit more smoked, a bit more smoky, a bit more roasty. But that's not that weird because we also have more of that ingredient and more of that contact surface with the smoke and our barley. So that's not too odd. Now, actually, when comparing colors, but that is a minor detail. Now let's go for the taste. I'll start with the beer and then compare afterwards. So cheers. This is in fact a very nice take on the Weizen. Initial taste is of course that smokiness, that woodiness. Yeah, so it is actually a cover of smoke. So it sounds like a magic show, but a cover of smoke and wood, and right underneath that, we already get that nice, that fresh, that soft, that fruity Weizen taste. A general wheat beer, but a very well made wheat beer. So not as much of a gimmick as I had expected, and that actually is very typical for Vandestreek. They have made gimmicky beers before, or seemingly gimmicky beers, but they are always very qualitative. They are always very well made, and just like here, they wanted to keep their vegan label and not throw any sausages in the kettle, so they used the smoked malt, which was in one way the easier solution, but in the other way also the most qualitative solution. So yeah, when it comes to quality assurance, Vandestreek know what they're doing. And you guys know that I always look for balance in a beer. That is absolutely the case in this one. It has a lovely color. I do get a bit of a tiny hint of caramel in the back of the throat. That smokiness lingers on nicely. So absolutely beautiful. And the aftertaste is also very, very pleasant, because I do get both segments here. I do get that roasty flavor, that caramelly flavor. I do get that nice citrusy Weizen taste, but I also get that veil of smoke around it. Yeah, very pleasant. And I actually wouldn't mind having this in our local pub, for example, because I think apart from the gimmicky look and idea, I think this is a very well made and very pleasant beer. And there we go. And just poured in the rest of the can. It does get a lot less clear, so let's see if this makes it any more bitter. Not really, stays intact. Now, one thing that I do have to say is, of course, they have used hops. Beer without hop is very, very rare these days, but it does not come through here. Flavor profile has almost, well, next to no bitterness in, but in this beer that is not a bad thing. Now, let's compare it with our sausage. Now, I took the low calorie version, and that means that this is a tiny bit less flavorful, but mainly a lot less fatty and a lot less rancid. Normally, a smoked sausage has quite a bit of fat content, a lot of lipids in there. This one is a bit drier, a bit less fat, but also a bit less aromatic. Okay. Not shabby, not shabby. Combine it with the beer. Yeah, very nice. Okay, let's go over to the scoring. Um, like I said, I like the color in this beer. Love the scent. Yeah. Now the smokiness has disappeared with the foam. I also love the balance in this beer between the flavors. So yeah, great beer, awesome beer. And despite its gimmicky character, I am very much moved to give this, let's call it a 375. I'm not gonna give it a 4 because it's missing that one tiny touch. But yeah, at least, yeah, definitely a 375. The quality and the balance in this beer beg for a 375. So that'll be it. As usual, guys, thank you so much for watching. Much appreciated. Even in the 3 weeks that I wasn't posting videos, I had extra subscribers. So thank you a lot for that as well. Please do come back, and I will make a lot more content this year. If you want to see more, subscribe. If you like this video in particular, hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions or remarks, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And we will see each other in the next video. Cheers, you guys.